Hi everyone. If you think a folding e-bike is just a wobbly little shortcut machine, this one may surprise you. But it also has a couple quirks you should know before riding. Today, I'm sharing my experience with the Gotrax R1 folding e-bike, and I'm looking at it from a very practical angle: commuting, weekend rides, camping trips, fitting it into a car, and whether it feels stable enough for everyday use. The first thing I noticed was the packaging. It arrived well protected with everything secured tightly, so unboxing took a little patience. There were quite a few ties and protective pieces to remove, but I'd rather have that than a scratched up bike. Assembly was pretty straightforward overall. The first time, I took my time because I wanted everything lined up correctly, especially the front wheel and brakes. Once I understood the process, it felt much easier. The tools were included, and the instructions were clear enough to get the bike together without making it feel like a full mechanical project. That said, this is not a featherweight little folding bike. It feels solid, and that comes with some weight. If you're assembling it alone, getting it out of the box can feel a bit awkward. Folding it is easy once you understand the motion, but lifting it into a trunk or moving it around while folded still takes some strength and balance. For me, it's manageable, but I would not describe it as effortless. If you're older, have back issues, or plan to lift it often, that's something to keep in mind. Once assembled though, the bike feels sturdy. It does not have that nervous, flimsy feeling that some compact bikes can have. The frame feels well built, and the folding design doesn't make it feel unstable while riding. I really like that it can fold down and fit into a car or SUV, because that changes how useful it is. It's not just a bike for leaving in the garage. I can see it being great for parks, trails, camping, road trips, or even small space storage. The riding position is comfortable, especially if you prefer being a little lower to the ground. It has more of a compact BMX-like feel than a tall mountain bike feel. At first, that lower position felt different, but I quickly started to appreciate it. My feet can reach the ground easily, and that gives me more confidence when starting, stopping, or making slow turns. For shorter riders, this is a big plus. It can be hard to find an e-bike that feels approachable and not oversized, and this one is very comfortable in that way. The ride itself is smooth on paved roads and park paths. It does not have a front suspension fork, but the seat has some spring to it, and on normal pavement it still feels comfortable. The tires help give it a stable, planted feel. I wouldn't treat it like a serious off-road bike, but for roads, paved trails, neighborhoods, campgrounds, and commuting routes, it feels right at home. Power is one of the strongest parts of the experience. The motor gives enough push for daily riding, and acceleration feels smooth. It can reach 20 miles per hour without drama, and that's plenty fast for commuting or casual rides. The first time you use the throttle, it may feel quicker than expected, so I recommend starting carefully, especially if you haven't ridden an e-bike before. I like having both throttle and pedal assist. The throttle is on the right handlebar, and it lets you ride without pedaling when you want to brake. That's great after a long workday, on a hill, or when your knees just don't feel like cooperating. The pedal assist is also useful because there are 5 levels, so you can decide how much help you want. On lower levels, you still feel involved in the ride. On higher levels, the bike does much more of the work. For slow riding, I actually found the throttle easier to control than pedal assist in certain situations. Tight U-turns can feel a little tricky if you start pedaling and the assist kicks in sooner than you expect. Using the throttle gently can make those slow maneuvers smoother. Once you get used to the bike, it becomes second nature, but there is a learning curve if you haven't been on a bike in years. The brakes are another area where the bike feels reassuring. The disc brakes work well, and when you brake, the motor cuts out, which makes stopping feel controlled. That's important on an e-bike because you want the bike to respond predictably, especially at higher speeds or in traffic. Hill performance was better than I expected. On moderate hills, it handles itself well. On steeper inclines, it may slow down, especially with a heavier rider, but it keeps moving. That's really the key. It does not feel like it gives up immediately when the road tilts upward. For commuting, that makes a big difference, because hills are usually where regular bikes start feeling like work. Battery life has also been good for practical use. For short commutes, park rides, and weekend cruising, it lasts well. On throttle-only riding, the range naturally goes down faster, but if you mix in pedaling and use assist only when needed, you can stretch it much farther. I also like that the battery can be charged on or off the bike. That makes it more convenient if you store the bike in one place but want to charge the battery indoors. There is one important thing to know about the battery key. The key has to be turned all the way until it fully clicks into position. If it is not turned completely, the bike may not power on correctly, or the display may briefly turn on and shut off. The key location is a little inconvenient because it's under the frame, and you may have to bend down or kneel to see it clearly. Once you know the trick, it's fine. The display is easy enough to read, and I like having the basic ride information visible. There have been some small quirks mentioned with the display settings and wheel size reading, so I wouldn't treat the speed and distance numbers as laboratory perfect. In normal use, it's not a deal breaker for me, but if you're someone who cares about exact speedometer and odometer accuracy, it's worth being aware of. For portability, I think the folding feature is excellent, but not perfect. It folds quickly and it's incredibly useful for loading into a vehicle or storing in a tighter space. I just wish there were a more secure way to lock it in the folded position. Also, when folding and moving it around, it's possible to get small scratches if you're not careful. That's not unusual with folding bikes, but it's something I noticed. Where this bike really shines is everyday usefulness. It's fun for commuting, practical for errands, and easy to enjoy at parks or campgrounds. It's also great if you want to ride with family without exhausting yourself. If your Kimf are full of energy, pedal assist helps you keep up. If you have bad knees, hips, or just don't want to arrive sweaty, the throttle and assist make riding feel accessible again. Overall, the Gotrax R1 feels like a strong value folding e-bike. It's sturdy, comfortable, fast enough for daily use, and convenient to transport. The main downsides are the weight, the slightly awkward battery key location, and a few small, learning curve moments with folding and slow turns. But once you get used to it, it becomes a really enjoyable and practical ride. My final take is simple. If you want a compact folding e-bike for commuting, camping, park rides, or casual everyday transportation, this one is definitely worth considering. It feels well built, has plenty of power, and makes riding feel fun without demanding too much effort. If you have any questions about this product, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.